This is Miss Fernandez here, and I hope you've had a lovely long bank holiday weekend and you are back and ready to learn. You must be wondering why I've got the word maths on there when I usually do your phonics and your reading videos. So it's only for this week for the year 3 group of Amber, Jade, and Indigo that I will be doing your maths lessons instead of Miss Rosa. So you will have your normal and your usual maths lessons with Miss Rosa from next week onwards, but only for this week I will be doing your maths lessons as well. Okay. Miss Rosa did tell me that you have been doing some wonderful learning in your maths, and in fact, I did have a look at a couple of your lessons, and I'm really impressed with all of the work that you have been doing on time. So we will still be doing a little more on time for the rest of the week, but for today, we will move to Roman numerals. Okay, so one of the main reasons why we're doing Roman numerals today is because when you learn lessons on time, if you've noticed that some of your clocks at home or some of the watches, or if you see your grown-ups wearing a watch, they will be having Roman numerals on them. And we need to understand what these Roman numerals are in order for us to read the time. So I'm sure all of you know Miss Rosa's message to have a paper and a pen ready when you do your lessons. So I'm sure all of you have your paper and pen ready. And what I would like you to do is write the short date and your LI on your piece of paper, and you can pause the video and do so. Okay? So a little bit about the Roman numerals is that there's a question. Did you know that Roman numerals came from ancient Rome? So this is slightly a tricky thing to do because we know that the word Rome is in this word Roman, so we know that it comes from Rome. Okay? And back in the early days in ancient Rome, what they used to do is instead of using numbers like how we do, they used to use Roman numerals. So for example, you've got the symbol 1, it started with a tally mark. So I know that all of you remember our tally lesson, and if you look at this picture over here, it's got tally marks. So when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you strike across 5. So this is what they used to use back in ancient Rome. They used to do it on wood or on the barks of the trees or branches, and they used to do Roman numerals in order to show us the numbers. Okay, so that's where these came from, and that's where we get our Roman numerals. Okay, so we've got 7 Roman numerals that we write in the form of letters. We've got I, V, X, L, C, D, M. And all of these letters, they represent a certain number. However, for our group, that is the Jade, Indigo, and Amber group, we will be doing just the first 3 Roman numerals. So that is I, which is 1, V, which is 5, and X, which is 10. Okay, so for this group, we're only doing all these numbers or learning the Roman numerals up to 3 letters because then in turn we will be able to read the time on the clock or your watch. Okay, so let's move on to the Roman numerals. So I've got Roman numerals from 1 to 12, and I've only got numbers from 1 to 12 because these are the numbers that are shown on your clock, or these are the numbers that are represented on your clock or your watch. So you are happy and you are free to learn more than 12 if you like to. So if you can have a look at YouTube videos, you can go on the internet and have a look at all the Roman numeral numbers if you want to challenge yourself. Okay, so when we look at the number one, like I said, number one in Roman number or Roman numeral is I. So if this is 1, that means two i's make 2, and so on. Now, if you have a look at number 5, we said that number 5 in our previous slide is V. But if you put a 1 before the V, it's like a minus. You're taking away 1 from 5, and that's why it's I and a V, which makes 4. I'm going to repeat myself there. So we know that the letter V is 5. And we know that the letter I is 1. So when we put the number 1 before the V, it means that we're taking away the 1 from the 5, which equals 4. And that's why the Roman numerals for 4 is IV. Now when you put an I after the V, it means that we're adding 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 8. And we did one more Roman numeral letter, which is 10. And X represents 10. So if you have a look over here, we've got X, which is 10. But then, like I said, if you put I before the 10, it means that you're taking away 1 from 10, which is 10 take away 1 is 9. And the same way, if you put an I or the value of I, which is 1, after the 10, it means that you're adding it, which is 10 plus 1 is 11. 10 plus 2 is 12. I'm sure you can figure out 13. It would be 10 plus something. Maybe you can write it on your piece of paper and tell me what the Roman numeral for the number 13 is. Okay? So moving on, if you haven't understood or you think I'm going too fast, make sure you go back to the video and listen to what I've said so you can understand clearly how we write the Roman numerals in this form. Okay, now let's have a look at a task. So after having known all the Roman numerals from 1 to 12, I've got something that we can either add or take away. So this is let's add or take away the numbers together. Okay, so 10 plus 2, you write your answer, which is 12. And then we did our Roman numeral number, which is the value of 12. So let's do this one over here. Okay, so I'm going to do this one for you. So 10 plus 2, we know that 10 add 2 is 12. And then if we have a look at our chart over here, we know that X is 10, I is 1, so X plus I and I, which is 10 plus 2 is 12. So the answer for 12 would be X, I. Okay, so now what I would like you to do is I would like you to try and complete the rest of these in your grid over here. And make sure that you have your paper and your pen ready and you can pause the video and carry on doing so. Okay, after you finish this bit, okay, I have got another activity which is a little more simple, and what I would like you to do is I've got numbers on this side. What you have to do is try and figure out the Roman numeral value on this side. So we've got number 3, and we know that the value of 1 is I. So how many I's do you need over here to make 3? So in that way, all you have to do is fill in this side of the blanks with the Roman numeral of the number on this side. Once you've finished this, okay, you can pause the video, make sure you finish, and then we move on to another activity. And the first one is done for you over here, which is write number 1 as a Roman numeral. So the number 1 in a Roman numeral is I. And then you've got 9 more to do over here. So write this one as a number, write 3 as a Roman numeral, write this Roman numeral as a number, write 5 as a Roman numeral, and so on. And make sure that you send in all of your work by emailing us at year3@grange.harrow.sch.uk. Until tomorrow's lesson in maths, take care and have a good evening. And you will definitely see Miss Rosa with her maths lessons from next week. So until tomorrow, take care. Bye.